Ranplan has developed a software tool aimed at visualizing cell phone coverage inside buildings. Why do you need such a tool?
Well, first of all, we do more than visualizing cell coverage within buildings. We've developed a software or a suite of software tools that allows you to design, plan and optimize in-building networks. And what I'd like to do is just explain what is an in-building wireless network. So it's a collection of different technologies. It's a dedicated indoor network that provides for Wi-Fi, 3G, 4G, and in the future 5G. So to answer your question as to why do you need a tool to plan the network? Well, wireless networks need to be planned. So in the outdoor environment, outdoor wireless networks have been planned for years, and there's plenty of tools on the market to plan outdoor wireless networks. And traditionally, mobile operators have actually just relied on the outdoor signal penetrating into the building to give coverage and capacity within the building. But that's now changed, and I'd just like to go through the reasons why that's changed. So, as you all know, the amount of mobile data traffic has exploded. The amount of data that's potentially grown for the last few years is somewhere up about 600% between now and 2020. So there's a huge amount of mobile traffic available within all these networks. We're consuming all of that traffic. We're sharing videos with friends. We're sharing pictures with friends. We're downloading videos, and we're uploading videos to YouTube. So there's a huge amount of bandwidth that's being consumed. Also, all of this bandwidth, 80% of it, 80% of all mobile data traffic is generated from within buildings. So that's a huge amount of data that you and I are generating from within buildings. Operators are obviously losing a lot of revenue because there's no coverage capacity within buildings. So there's a real demand for operators to now look at creating or designing and building indoor wireless networks themselves. So we've seen this shift over the last 2 years, and that's created the demand for companies like Ranplan to actually design and develop and create an in-building wireless network planning tool.
Can you give an example of how the tool is used?
We import architectural drawings, CAD files. If there's no CAD files, we actually import floor layout diagrams from the fire escapes. And what we do is we create a 3D building model within the tool. And that 3D building model is a model of the building that includes all of the data about the walls, how thick they are they made of concrete, are they made of wood, are they made of bricks? You know, what material are the doors, what material are the windows, what material are the columns and the floor? Because that information is critically important, because what we next need to do is figure out what the wireless propagation is going to be like inside that building. And with different materials, the RF signal can be absorbed, it can be reflected. So we need all that information about the building to start off with. Once we've got that building model within our tool, the next thing we want to do is build an indoor network. So the designer will start to place base stations and antennas in various parts of the building. And once he's created that logical physical network, what we now want to do is to predict how that network's going to perform. So most mobile operators have a view on what sort of quality of experience they want to give to their end users. So they have a set of wireless KPIs that they want to meet in building this wireless network. So what our tool then does is run a prediction. And that's a prediction on how much coverage and how much capacity there will be within that network. It'll identify through visualization where there's areas of no coverage or no capacity, and that can be done by a set of reports, but it also can be done by visualization, a heat map, where red is strong and blue is weak. So that allows the developer or the designer of the in-building wireless network to get a good understanding of how that network will perform. His next job is to optimize it. His next job is to make sure that, you know, he puts enough equipment into that network to ensure that coverage capacity, so he gets rid of all those not spots and creates a really good, well-performing in-building wireless network. And our tool has a lot of what we call optimizers that can automatically do this for you. So you don't have to rely on the designer to actually create a fully optimized network. Once that's completed, the tool will generate reports. Those reports can be analyzed by the mobile operator, signed off by the mobile operator, and then handed over to a system integrator or another company to go and actually build the network. So we've given him all of the information he needs, including all of the material that he needs, where to locate all of that equipment to actually build that indoor network.
So what kind of customers use the Ranplan tool, and do they all use the same software package?
So the Ranplan tool is used in 4 different market segments. There's the mobile communication market segment, where our customers would be operators such as Telenor, system integrators that build the networks. Within the public safety market, which is a slightly different market, where networks are built to provide mobile communications for the emergency services such as ambulance, police, fire brigades. They build their own dedicated network, and so there's a different set of customers that we sell to in that segment. There's usually a mobile provider that's providing the service. There's a different set of system integrators that are more focused on the public safety market. Third market is the industrial IoT space, and when I talk about industrial IoT, we're talking about companies, they're enterprises, large enterprises that want to plan wireless networks within their factories to automize everything. And they use our tool to plan networks. If I can give you an example, a company like Samsung that has a huge factory want to optimize the whole of their production facilities, and they rely on wireless infrastructure to connect machines, to talk to machines, to make sure those factories are running productively. In the 4th sector, there's the smart city segment, and there we have another different set of customers. They're governments, they're municipalities, and they want to plan smart networks within cities, networks to connect street lighting, to automize street lighting, networks to control traffic congestion. So there's another set of another segment, but our customers there are traditionally government municipalities and system integrators that build those networks.
What can you say about the demand for a dedicated indoor network?
Well, as I said earlier, 80% of all mobile data traffic is generated and consumed within buildings, and currently today only 2% of commercial buildings have dedicated indoor wireless networks.
How will regulatory demands concerning coverage affect Ranplan?
The major regulatory demands come from the public safety market that I discussed earlier. That's providing critical wireless infrastructure within buildings to support the fire brigades, the police and ambulances. Governments are imposing a level of coverage and capacity within those buildings. For example, in certain countries they're insisting there's a level of coverage up to about 97%. Obviously, the requirement to demonstrate that coverage and plan that coverage necessitates a use for an in-building wireless network planning tool.
Can you tell me a bit about your business model?
We have a very simple business model. We sell licenses to our customers. Now, those licenses can be term-based, such as 6 months or 12 months, or they can be perpetual. We prefer to sell term-based licenses because that gives us a view on reoccurring revenues as our customers need to buy another tool when they're designing another project. To give you an idea on our customers are large mobile operators. As an example, China Mobile, Telenor, Verizon in the US, Ooredoo in the Middle East, and also the telecommunication equipment vendors. As an example, Ericsson is a customer of ours and Huawei is a customer of ours. We also sell licenses to design consultants who do a lot of work for those telecommunication equipment vendors and those mobile operators.
Over the last 2 years, you posted revenues of about $3.7 million US. What can you tell us about your margins?
Well, our products are software, so our gross margins are in excess of 90%.
You're currently planning an IPO on Nasdaq First North. How much money will you be taking in and how will it be utilized?
We're looking to use that investment to expand our global reach, to hire commercial, technical sales headcount in the Americas, in Asia Pacific, in the Middle East and Africa, and also across Europe, to actually grow the company to generate those revenues we've forecasted.